So, Alex, you weren't with us at Lions Den DFW back in April, but I led a session on using AI in your business. So, AI for productivity. The number one question that we got during that panel was all related to marketing and go to market and sales strategies using AI. Now, we've done quite a bit with that. And one thing that everybody's concern was, and it's 100% right, is how do you keep your brand voice, your human voice, the natural way that you relate with your customers when you're also using AI for content? You recently wrote an article about that, and I'd love to have a little discussion with you about that.
hmm Yeah, absolutely. And thank you, Isaac, for that question. It's really important because right now we have a lot of tools with AI
Yep.
and marketing leaders right now. They are using a lot these type of tools. The most powerful or the most common tool is ChatGPT. There's another tool like Gemini, DeepSeek, and other ones. But the most important here is how to sound natural when we are writing or generating content with AI. So today, anyone can create content, blogs, posts in minutes, and that is no longer uh, impressive because you need to generate your content with you need to give the content the human perspective. It's not
Yep.
AI human. This is a hybrid model that we need to build AI plus your strategy. So the AI, for example, Isaac, is very important and it's excellent at initial research, identifying patterns, generating outlines.
Yep.
But the human is essential as well.
Well, one
And
thing I think that would be really important to bring up is we used to hire content creators back way before the AI days, and it
Mhm.
sucked. These content creators, the content sucked. It was terrible. It wasn't on point at all. It didn't sound human. It sounded like regurgitated crap. And it was like, it was really hard. What ended up happening was I wrote all the content. I don't have time for that. So using AI wisely can actually make you more human and make your content way more valuable if you apply it well. And if you don't apply it well, you're going to sound just as bad as you sounded before with a lot more content. um,
Yeah, because the human part is essential,
yeah,
and strategy because we need because the human part is essential for judgment, for the tone of voice, the storytelling, real experience that the AI doesn't have unless you give the context to the AI because you need to train the AI
yeah.
and also for brand decision. That's the reason why the human part is very important as well.
Yeah, this is something that Valerie and Rebecca are both writing about. Valerie is writing about how to make sure that you have your brand voice as the focus in all of your community and outreach. And then Rebecca is writing about how to ensure that the design of your brand reflects your brand's voice. And now here we are talking about how to ensure that we have a human element to anything that you're using AI to help create, which is really not just about sounding human, but supporting your brand voice. Uh, a human, I am around humans all the time. 90% of the time, they don't add any value to me or my life, right? It's just noise. And now AI allows the noise to be faster, but it's not just about sounding human. It's about reflecting your voice, your values, reflecting and creating value for other people. Can you do it faster? Yeah, but that's not necessarily a benefit what you have to make sure that you're doing is reflect who you are. And then what we're doing right now, we're talking about a topic that's important. But
Mhm.
you and I are talking about that topic. And what's going to happen is the transcript is going to be stripped from this. We're going to load it into a trained GPT that is going to tell somebody that has some experience in video production, but not necessarily in the topic we're talking about, how to break this into shorts, how to turn this into marketing emails, how to create social media posts from this. We're going to take this and create blogs and outlines and call scripts. And our friend Fernando Labastida would call it the viral genius marketing campaign. And so the cascade of content from this, we're two humans. Both of us are real, real human beings, and we're friends. We've known each other a long time. And so now what we could actually do is take our human voices and elevate it to a much higher level than we could have without AI.
Yeah, actually, I had an experience with our friend Fernando. When I was making the email campaign, I was doing obviously the human part and the AI part, and he told me what I really want to do, Alex, is to send this sound natural as human. And I want to do it like I am writing the email. I don't want the generic email. It's like I don't know how to say it, but it's the generic email. It is in the center of the email. That it's look like I was fully generated by AI. So I don't want to do that. We need to do it very natural, as a
Yep.
Fernando was the person who is writing the email and send it directly to you with the human part and not fully AI generated.
Yeah. And so right now we are humans talking. Um, AI shouldn't be used to replace humans. It should be used to augment the human experience, right? And if you do that well, I mean, with what we did there, a specific email campaign that you're talking about, we used AI to help target and do market segmentation to find other humans that could benefit from the service we were offering. And we use
Mhm.
AI to outline, using trained models that we had written, to outline what a campaign would look like. And then we outlined the emails in that campaign. And we put a very good, I think, 7-touch email campaign together. And we have the infrastructure on the back end to send emails to those folks and ensure that they get into the inbox so that we're a human connecting to another human. We did that fast. I think we went from contract to live in under a week, and that just wouldn't have been possible. But we did that using AI, but to amplify the human voice, not to replace it. And you could always tell AI, they always use the same types of phrases, right? Like um, Isaac lives at the crossroads between two things that don't cross, or this one cuts deep. Like they have like 30 phrases that they just, and here you go. Um, it's there's in the United States, there's a lot of politicians like that. We call it word salad, where it's just like random things, bam, it's in the bowl. There you go. Um, that's not what we're looking for. What we're looking for is use AI, because if you're marketing, I use this example a lot. You will never buy blue jeans that say made with mechanical sewing machines, because of course they were. Sewing machines are faster, they last longer, it's higher quality, it's just better than hand sewing jeans, and I wouldn't want anybody to go through that experience anyway. And so you wouldn't ever see Levi's now with mechanical sewing machines. You're not going to see that anymore. That was the third industrial revolution, not this industrial revolution. So I think that marketing agencies empowered by AI and marketing.ai, that's all going to go away, because of course you're using AI. Because why wouldn't you? Why are you doing all this by hand?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
at the same time, you have to use it in a way that elevates the human experience, increases human connections, doesn't take away from it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have a simple rule, Isaac, because don't use AI to replace thinking. Use it to remove
To remove
right?
what?
The friction.
Yeah, that's right.
Because you can automate preliminary research, outline summaries, report parsing, headline testing, keyword clustering, but you need to keep the human part. So, what is the human part? The strategic positioning, the
Yeah.
storytelling, voice, or sensitive decisions. Because you need to train the AI, Isaac, at the end, because the
Yeah.
AI doesn't in it. You need to tell the AI, hey, this is my ICP, this is what I have, this is my preliminary research. Do a deep research, and you can start training the AI to sound more human, sound more you, or more the tone of voice of the company as well. So everything is to train the AI as well to give you the best result for
Yep.
campaign or your
If you sit down and open a new ChatGPT account and hit a new chat in that new account and you type create a marketing strategy, hit enter, it'll create your
yeah,
marketing strategy.
and
Bam.
you believe everything because
Yeah.
sounds
It'll look pretty cool too. And then you say, create me a 7-touch email campaign. Okay, cool. It will not ask you, well, what industry are you in? What are you selling? Who's your customer? What is the goal of the email campaign? It'll just boom, it's all out there. And then, like, so humans that know need to go in and build the context and train the GPT to actually do productive work. Otherwise, it's just going to give you something. And that's something, it might be really impressive. I mean, I have chats that have created a path for me to be a multi-billionaire over and over again, and it could prove it. It could prove how I have $1 billion worth of IP right now. Right now, what it cannot do is sell it for me, because that's not actually worth that. Um, I can develop a strategy out of vapor in ChatGPT, but it won't connect with anybody because I haven't put my information into it. I haven't given it my knowledge and my expertise. And you have to go in and actually create a profile for what your business does. And then you have to have a voice. With me, I wrote an email marketing book. I wrote most of an email marketing book. I have to finish that. But even before I finished it, I was able to train a GPT on that book. And then I was able to train my own AI model to read an email sequence and tell me if it's following the methodology that I outlined in my book. And then I was able to create the outline for dozens of blog posts based off of what I wrote in the book. And then I was reading through and realized, hey, wait a second, I'm missing something big. The whole spam words. That you could take a high reputation domain and a high reputation email and send a email with a dozen bad words in it, the forbidden phrases, and you're going to the spam folder. I could send you an email right now on the same domain, and it'll go in the spam folder if I did it wrong. So I realized, hey, there's a gap. So I created the no spam playbook, and that just tells you what to avoid, what phrases to avoid, and what things to avoid in your copy in the email. Bam, 20 new outlines. Now you and I, we have topics to talk about. We come and we talk. I'll talk to Becca and Javi, and that is where our content comes from. Our voice, our intellectual property, our knowledge, our human experience and our stories creates the outlines for more. And then we're able to take those things and break them down into elements that we can continue to use. We don't sit and say, hey, ChatGPT, write me an article about writing articles and then post that. That's just garbage. But we will say, here's something I wrote about these topics. Help me break this into 16 podcast topics and give me the outline for them. And then we're able to sit down and shape that conversation in a way that supports our voice and supports what our goals and strategy and hopes and ambitions are. That is the proper use of AI in marketing, especially with content creation.
Mhm. Yeah, imagine all the human part that you did until you have this outcome. Now you work and you can work more fast than before. Because without training, if you don't train your AI model, it's difficult because you don't have a direction of that, and you are doing basically the hybrid model, the human part and the AI part, because this hybrid model allow us a lot of company to scale content production without turning their brand into a factory of empty content or empty articles, because the human part is very important at the beginning when you are trying um, to get content, get some articles and everything that you can have in your mind to make a lot of content. So that's the reason why I did this article as well, Isaac, because I know the importance to have a well-trained AI model to scale your content production.
Yep. Awesome. Well, thanks for chatting with us about that. You will find the link to the article in this YouTube video when we post it. And hope you go over and get some value from that. If you are trying to build a scalable go-to-market strategy, go check out globox.email. Alex and I are helping customers from all over North America expand their outreach and escape the trap that I call the founder heroics, where the founder goes out and finds all the customers and then tries to deliver while also trying to grow his company and get into scale mode with something that doesn't scale, which is the founder actually going out and doing all the work. Trust me, I remember these days. They were painful. I used to have hair coming all the way to here, Alex.
I know.
Let's set up a conversation today and talk about your business's strategy and how to build a scalable GTM engine for your business. Thanks so much for this conversation, Alex.
Thank you, Isaac.